For too many decades, judges have been creating law from the bench. And I think it's wrong. The Constitution thinks it's wrong. But it's going on. To me, and I think to the Constitution and to many people, judges should interpret. An easiest example is a criminal case. A suspect is brought before the court. The judge decides whether the person did the crime or not, whether it broke a law or not, or whether there were circumstances that made it necessary for that person to break the law. Murder is a good example. It's against the law to kill people. The exception is in self-defense or in defense of other individuals. Obvious situation there. But when you get into laws that we have on the books, and they're deciding that law shouldn't be in place or something else should be in place, it isn't their job to change what the law is. In fact, you can even go to, let's say, the EPA. Constitutionally, the EPA, the regulations they put forward, are illegal because due process hasn't been in place for creating a law. But that's a different topic. But the same thing is going on from the bench. When a judge creates a law, so to speak, they bypass due process. And there's a way of dealing with this that's fast and easy. This deserves a good talk about. Hello, anyone. I'm Scott Boehm. They call me the old farmer. Today, we're talking about judges. And let me tell you, there are some judges that I know personally that if you give them any guff, I'll be right in front of them to be between you and the judge. There's some great judges out there. And there are some pretty bad ones, too. And in those cases, I've occasionally have caused them inconvenience, put it that way. And then there's the average judge, just trying to do their job and interpret the laws the best they can and get it out there. And then there are those who think they're the president of the United States, and they're going to make the laws, and they're going to bypass Congress, and they're going to do this, and they're going to do that. Now, it isn't so much a problem with district court judges and circuit court judges because those are elected positions. And every so often, their term is up, and you vote for whether you want that judge back on the bench or you want to replace the judge, or maybe the judge is retiring. Numerous different situations, but there's a process in place that every so often there's the opportunity to change out the judge. Not so much so with federal judges. That's for life, and it's very, very, very difficult to get them removed, to impeach them, recall them, whatever you want to use, whatever term that's best to use on it. In other words, it's almost impossible to get rid of them. And in some cases, we should. And in some cases, a good dumb slap side of the head would be enough to make them behave themselves. Now, that's not saying I always agree with the ruling of a judge. And the judges that I would stand in front of to protect them from the public, I don't always agree with their decision. But from their mindset and their integrity, I know from their point of view, they did the best they could. And they're honest judges. And they deserve to be protected. But those who try to change the law or make a law, those are the judges that should be removed after giving them a dumb slap. Say, you behave yourself or we're going to take care of you. And this is how you do it. It's very difficult to get a judge off the bench. There's the term, off the bench. It isn't actually difficult to get them off the bench. It's difficult to remove them as a judge. Pay them the same, give them the same title, and force them to be traffic court judges. Or a judge responsible for the number of paper clips in the office. In other words, the judge is still there, but we remove them from the bench. We get rid of them, but they're still a judge. They hold court in a forest. Are the trees behaving themselves? Or should there be consequences to those trees? Or maybe on a farm, livestock. Are those goats behaving themselves, or do we have to put some kind of punishment in front of them? Well, let the judge decide that. Maybe he can find a new law that he could create for those goats. So it comes down to this. We keep the judges, we just pull them from the bench. Regrettably, we have to keep paying them. But that's a small price to pay to get some of these judges off the bench. Thank you for watching, and please be safe. We'd sure appreciate it if you could subscribe and leave a comment. You know how YouTube behaves. They won't believe you watched a video unless you leave a comment. Also, it would help if you ring the bell and do a thumbs up. As you know, if I find a good channel, I pass it on to you. So if you think it's appropriate, it would sure help if you passed us on to your closest 10,000 friends and family. But above all, give a helping hand to someone today. It's the best gift to give. It'll make you feel good too.
Don't forget to click like, subscribe, share, or ring the bell buttons on the Original Old Farmer channel. We enjoy reading the comments that you leave, and they do help the channel, so keep them coming. And once again, thank you for watching The Original Old Farmer.
The VFW National Home for Children, providing families of veterans and active duty military opportunities for growth and development in a nurturing community. Please consider a donation to help their children and families. I.C. Rhodes speaking.